Hello you. First of all, I want to thank you personally for watching another video of mine. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. It really means a lot. Yes, I've been a little bit quiet over the last couple of weeks. It just became such a busy couple of weeks. I was just out of town for a bit, and I was just doing some of my own sort of housework, so forth, and other things that needed attending to. But of course, as we know, it's been a relatively crazy couple of weeks, as we already know, with, of course, even today, it is Friday, and this specific Friday, of course, we know that Putin and Trump are meeting in Alaska, and to, I suppose, disclose any final conclusions for their meetings and arrangements, which people are still yet speculating. But of course, if anyone knows anything, they've not gone there, you know, not having discussed anything. We know the teams will have discussed some specific pointers, especially regarding the current ongoing invasion in Ukraine. And we also know there's a lot going on still in Gaza, and we, of course, my prayers are for everyone that's currently suffering in the world. May they all find peace soon. Amen to that. It's still relatively warm today. It was cold over the last couple of weeks, and this week it's become very warm. 27 degrees currently in Cambridge. It seems to be a little bit quieter, but then again, it's summer holidays, so I'm not complaining. I'm going to enjoy it while I can. I'm still trying to just get used to, I guess, just content creating, of course. If you haven't, please do check out my TikTok as well, Trending Brief, where I discuss a bit more of worldly affairs. I will be trying to post a bit more longer form on my YouTube. It's just taking a bit more getting used to with the softwares, because it's not just using CapCut or Adobe. Unfortunately, you just got to suss out which one works better for you, and then it also comes down to using video downloading software. Even uploading, my god, you know, the one thing I do like about a phone, because to be fair, most of my content I usually all just make it on my iPhone, if it's something quick and easy, short form. But if it's more long form like this, I try to use my camera. It does make a difference, and not to mention, it just helps with backup storage. I don't need to keep overriding my own phone and changing things for that. There's not particularly too much on my agenda today, but I think one thing I find that's really interesting now is, I want to start a topic, actually. This was really my topic. I was in London recently, and I can't help but wonder, do people still really care about luxury fashion? Luxury with two quotes, by the way. I'll give you a story. So I recently applied for a job, a couple of jobs this year, at luxury fashion. As you know, I was thinking of just moving to London for a bit. But the more I was looking around, the more I noticed, without a shadow of a doubt, most of these shops seem to be more quieter than most graveyards. I think most graveyards actually seem to get more of a turn up than some of these luxury stores. But then I was wondering, you know, the luxury days, if we're going to look at, let's say, the 30s, 40s, 50s, even up to maybe the 1990s, you know, when people thought of luxury, and when I think of luxury, it should be something that's more exclusive, something that perhaps you couldn't normally buy unless you went to a specific supplier or a brand. And of course, if you've got money to spend, you can of course outsource things, regardless on whether or not it's necessarily ethical or not. But then that would be what I think is luxury. You know, difference between buying like a nylon jacket, and probably a difference between buying like a hide or a pelt of an animal, let's just say a buffalo, or one of those like Versace minxed coats, right? Regardless on how you feel, but when I think of luxury, it should be something that's usually a bit more exclusive, something that's a bit more difficult, hence why you're paying for more. But then you realise, especially when China did these mass hits on some of these companies claiming a lot of the materials is actually made, or even most of it's actually assembled in China, apart from a few final touches, makes you actually wonder anyway. Some of these suppliers, even luxury, like Givenchy, if you want to call it that, Tom Ford, Gucci, they have like these white t-shirts, and it seems like they all come from the same brands, half of them. You couldn't really tell the difference, and to be fair, I think if there was no logo, no one would tell much of a difference. There's a handful of brands where it's like, okay, you can kind of feel the difference in terms of it being more breathable, the fabric, you know, whether it's cotton, not nylon. You don't really necessarily want to wear nylon in the heat. I don't recommend it. But, you know, I don't know how people feel. I'm interested to know what you feel about luxury fashion. Do you think it's more of a dead sort of space now? Do you think it's more about experiences in stores? So I noticed in London, of course, they have more of like these events and things. But when I look around at the brand, I don't know. I mean, everyone always says they prefer like old Gucci rather than new Gucci. I think there's something a bit more tacky about new Gucci for some reason. I don't know what it is. Tom Ford. I mean, Tom Ford always seem to have like nice suits, but again, I mean, they're doing fantastic perfumes, fragrances. But I do always question nowadays, what exactly are people expecting when they go to a luxury store? And I think really it's just more, I mean, I suppose if I'm going to pay money, regardless if it's luxury or not, if it's something I've not seen before but I really like, fine. I'm probably more likely to pay a little bit more for money for something which I'm going to use every day, like say boots, for example. I wear boots. I don't wear flat shoes pretty much all year round. Even like today, I wear boots. I wear my Timberland boots in the summer because I do a lot of walking and I need them to ideally last more than a few years. My last pair of boots lasted me just over 9 years. Still got them. I was trying to repair them, not much luck, so I'm just going to keep them in my wardrobe for now. And those were just from Primark. So I'm really interested to know, anyone, especially you if you are watching, what exactly do you think of luxury? Do you think it's a dead end? And I'm very much interested to know, is there any particular brands that you think are worth looking at?
There we are, magic spoon of course. There we are.